if your account looks like this, you were last season gold 4, currently you're silver 1, so you're not even back at your last season's rank, and you're 120 games in with a negative overall win rate of like 49%, 47%, but you're all of a sudden doing really well. If you want to climb to platinum in the fastest way possible, there's basically 2 ways to do it. One is to one trick your most successful champion. In this example, it's the 61% win rate, Samira. Or the second one is to start a new account with fresh MMR if you're getting negative LP gains, and one trick that Samira on the new account, because you're going to get to platinum in about 100, 150 games less than if you were on your main account. In today's profile review, we're going to be breaking down everything a silver player needs to do who has fucked around and ruined their MMR at the start of the season, how they need to fix that in order to get to their goal rank of platinum. Before we get into this profile review, if you're interested in getting your profile reviewed, please check out the link in the description below, completely free. Let's get into the Profile Academy, and in the next 10 or 15 minutes or so, I'm going to be breaking down how you can go from Silver 1, 100 LP with a 49% win rate to Platinum with a 55% win rate. And there's a few different strategies you can do, and honestly, the real big difference between all the strategies are the time it'll take you to climb. That's the biggest factor. So really, depending on how quickly you want to get to your goal rank of Platinum, really does kind of depend on that is the biggest factor on, what strategy you should implement to climb there. Cool. So the big 3 things we're going to be talking about are your champion pool, starting a new account to reset your MMR, and your laning phase, which is currently your weakest moment in game, which we need to fix. So champ pool. Right now, you clearly are having a lot of success on Samira, and there is no reason that Samira cannot be your one-trick champion to get to platinum. Now, coming back to how quickly do you want to climb to platinum? Well, if you're trying to climb to platinum in the fastest way possible, one-tricking Samira is by far the best option. However, some people get bored of that. It looks like you're not, but just in case you are, that's when you would look at two-tricking. So, for example, when you're really bored of Samira, you play another champion, maybe like your Caitlyn, which has a bit of success in your last 20 games or so, or maybe even your Vayne or something. But really, the idea or the fastest way to climb to platinum would be to one-trick your Samira and just only play Caitlyn or your other backup AD carry when Samira is banned or picked, because right now she's your best chance no matter what. Like, no matter how bad the matchup is, no matter if you get counterpicked, no matter if your support doesn't suit Samira's playstyle, your win rate on Samira right now is factually the most promising factor I can see in your profile review that shows me that you could potentially get to platinum. Now, you got to remember, when you're Silver 1, you're about the top 34% of players, and in Platinum, you're about the top 8%. And to be honest, the number of Silver players that actually get to Platinum, it's probably like 2 to 5% of Silver players ever make it to Platinum. And I know you were Gold the last 2 seasons, so let's call you a Gold player. Again, the number of Gold players that make it to Platinum really are like 5% of Gold players ever make it to Platinum. So we need to be doing what the 95% aren't doing. And that's why one-tricking and being really consistent with Samira is so important for you, because that is basically what 95% of Gold players aren't willing to do. They aren't willing to one-trick, they aren't willing to play a small champion pool, and they aren't willing to do it for a long period of time. A lot of players are like, oh yeah, I can one-trick, and then they get bored in 2 months. But they're having great results. And then all of a sudden they expand their champion pool, their win rate goes to shit, they ruin their MMR, and then they can't climb anymore. And that is basically the story I see every day of Gold players who are trying to climb to platinum. They stick with the strategy for a little bit, they get bored or they feel like it's not working, and then they give up. This is by far the best strategy you can do. Just one trick to platinum. Trust me, Samira is still a good champion in platinum. She's still a good champion in gold. Her as an individual champion is never going to be the reason you can't climb. It's going to be you as an individual who is the reason you can't climb. Cool. The second thing I want to talk about is starting a second account. So again, if we're looking at the lens of the fastest way to climb to platinum, it would be to start a new account because you would have fresh MMR. You've done something to this account at the start of this season where even though your last 20 games is a 74% win rate, and your last 40 games is a 56% win rate, I can see your overall win rate is 49%. So you did something at the start of this season. I don't know if you're playing around with new roles, if you didn't know what champions to have or to play, or you just didn't have a strategy. You did something wrong at the start of this season, which has ruined or potentially ruined your MMR. And it's meaning it's going to be a real struggle for you to climb to platinum, because you're basically Silver 1, 100 LP, 120 games in, and you're not even back to your last season's rank. Generally, I expect, sorry, that was an accident. Generally, I expect Gold 4 players to get back to Gold 4 in the new season in about 50 to 80 games. The fact that it's taken you 120 games, so like 40 games over my maximum threshold, makes me think that your MMR is a little bit screwed. So again, looking at the lens of, if we need to climb to platinum in the fastest way possible, I would start a new account, I would one-trick Samira, and I would go from there. And I guarantee you that account can probably get to Silver 1 in 10 to 20 games if you average like around a 60% win rate, which you currently have on Samira. And then you've just got much better MMR, and it's going to probably take you 100 to 150 less games to climb to platinum on that new account compared to this one. So yes, you still can climb to platinum on this account. It's just going to be a real hard slog, and you're going to need to be averaging around like a 60% win rate to fix your MMR, so that you're actually gaining more LP than you're losing, and you can actually meaningfully climb. Now, regardless of if you take my advice on your champion pool, or if you take my advice on starting a new account to climb to platinum in the fastest way possible, the biggest thing holding you back right now is your laning phase. So in bot lane, over 78 games with a 51% win rate, we can see that you're averaging about half a kill. You're falling behind half a kill. And if we just look at Samira as an example, you're only averaging a plus 50 gold lead. Samira is arguably one of the strongest laners, or she has the biggest potential to get a really good lead in laning phase. Yes, she's okay at team fighting, but really she should be winning laning phase by about 300 to 500 gold. And so if you're not winning laning phase as Samira by 300 to 500 gold, you're doing something wrong. So whether it's you're not aggressive enough or you're too aggressive at the wrong times, I can tell by your deaths, like you're dying 9.3 times a game. That's probably the biggest issue that's holding you back right now in game. And it's to do with your laning phase. I guarantee you're probably dying way too much in laning phase, going for really greedy kills. So what you need to do is actually understand, when are Samira's trade windows, when can she actually go in and get a kill, when is she going to lose that trade, when is she going to die, where is the jungler. You really need to just focus everything around your in-game improvements around your deaths, because you're just dying too much. Now, in this profile view, there's no real easy way for me to give you a solution on how to fix your deaths, because I can't review games, I can't see your play style, I don't understand why or how you're dying. I just know that you're dying too much, and it's probably going to be in laning phase and in mid game, because you just don't know when to go in and when not to go in as Samira. Now, those are the big three things that you need to fix in order to climb to platinum. And again, it's all about how quickly you want to get there. If you want to get there in the fastest way possible, start a new account, one trick Samira. If you're like, I don't want to start a new account, but I'm happy with one tricking Samira, fine. One trick Samira on this account. It's going to take you an extra 100, 150 games, but you can get there. And then the third thing, you really need to fix this 9.3 death problem, because regardless of if you're one tricking, starting a new account, if you're dying on average 9.3 times a game as a 80 carry, you're dying, way too much. I recommend the average gold 80 carry to be dying about 5.5 times per game. So you're almost dying double that amount. And that means you're off the map, you're not earning gold, you're having less impact. And in solo queue, we need to have impact, we need to get resources, particularly on a champion like Samira. So something I'd recommend to you is getting game reviews from a Challenger 80 carry coach, which we have. We actually have a Samira specialist coach. So what I recommend is once you've watched this, reach out to me. I can talk to you about prices for booking a one-on-one game session, as well as some longer term coaching, like monthly coaching, where we give you goals, homework, tips and tricks. We focus on your big problem areas, like how to fix your deaths, like why are you dying so much, and how to fix that through in-game reviews and everything else, basically allowing you to become not just a platinum player, but actually how to get into diamond and beyond with your Samira, with your 80 carry playstyle. So if you're interested in that, please, once you've watched this, let me know and I can point you in the right direction for that. You can get all set up and you can start getting coaching and climb a lot faster to platinum. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the profile view. Cheers, good luck on the Rift, and I'll talk to you once you've watched this.